Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormybman for this Sunday morning, 12 a.m. This is the 6th month of the year, the 12th day of the year, early morning, and it's 2022. Post-fight show for Bryan versus Dubois, Munguia versus Kelly, and Berlanga versus Angulo. The Angulo-Berlanga fight just wrapped up, and we're going to talk about these fights a little bit. Only the main events. I'm not going to go through those undercards with all the young guys out there because they'll be in the ring again before I can finish the post-fight show. These young men are out here, and especially on the top rank and the zone cards, they keep those young guys busy. But they find it hard making the veterans and the titleists at the top of the sport fights. They find it difficult doing it for them. So I don't know what's up with that, but they do keep the young guns busy. Welcome everybody out there. Please smash the like button as you come into the building. Coming off of a great call by the brother KC Boxing Network. Salute to KQ. Man, the brother is long-winded, man. He was out there for many hours today providing you guys with the fight calls. And he does it in his own special way and with an energy that is to be respected. So, this was not the best day of boxing. And once again, boxing reared its ugly head, as it's been known to do. And we can talk about that as well. But let's get down to let's see who's in the building this evening or this morning, I should say. We got big homie Coop out there saying salute Sifu. Back smack the like button, people. Class is in session, so pay attention. And salute to all the family in the chat. JC is out there with the channel emojis. Appreciate you. St. Cruising in the building saying fun boxing night. Salute to all. J. Wayne Citizen out there with the Bruce Lee into the dragon emojis. I appreciate you, J. Wayne. King Corleone is giving us the fist bump. Chi-Town's finest in the building. My man William Old School is out there saying, Stormy B-Man, salute my brother and glad to see you. Same, right back to you, brother. And Jeff the producer is out there saying, Storm. Let's see who else we got. We got Jay Gibson saying, salute Stormy B-Man and the family. And Jaywalk is out there saying, salute, salute. Shakers and Dice in the building saying blessings and peace to Stormy as well as the chat. Same to you, brother. Sheena is back. Channel member saying salute Stormy B-Man and salute to the chat. And look at Sheena out there with those channel emojis. God bless you. Chilltown Majors in the building saying Angulo was robbed. And let's see who else we got out there. My man, Drew Titan LLC in the building saying at work listening. Appreciate you, Drew. And Jimmy Bernard out there saying, salute Stormy B-Man. What's good, chat? That's right. Hustler Slim in the building saying Stormy B-Man with the cheers mugs. I appreciate that. Jay Walk is out there again. And who else? We got people saluting one another. Smash that like button as you come into the building, people. Smash the like button. So, we're going to dial it from the end to the beginning. Let's go on in on Berlanga versus Angulo. Now, this fight right here, I knew it was going to be a good test for Edgar Berlanga because Alexis Angulo is a veteran fighter who actually has an aggressive style. He's not a busy fighter. So that makes a difference in their selecting him for this fight. And you do have to consider these things Okay. Salute to my man, Pac-Man, Tay Jones in the building saying, yo, what's good with you, Tay? Good to see you out there, brother. No More Champagne is out there saying, salute, Stormy. I see Berlanga, he thinks he's Mike Tyson as he tried to bite Angulo's ears off. And Sheena saying, thank you, Stormy B, man. Many blessings. Appreciate you again. Hustler Slim out there as well. Listen, Berlanga needed a fight like this, but he needed a fight like this several fights ago. Now, what does that mean, Stormy? What that means is, I've talked about this before. What did he have? A streak of 14 straight knockouts in the first round or something like that? They were feeding him very soft touches early on. You can now see that because the people that he was knocking out couldn't stand up to very much. The consensus in boxing used to be, once you recognize your fighter has power, you begin to work on other aspects of his game, because power is not the end all. Power is just something nice to have, to go to, but you need to lay the foundation for a fighter, and there will be just some opponents that he will not knock out. That's a given. And when you have it like that, you have to respect the opponents that may be out there for him in the future. And that's the thing that you're starting to see it now in the performances of Berlanga. Okay? This kid really needs some work. He needs work. I understand, talking behind the scenes with some of the brothers who are a little familiar, a little bit more familiar with him, like my brother Kano Loco Sports. Salute to Kano Loco. They say that in the amateurs, he was more of a boxer and everything, but they didn't build on that very much. Now, he tried to revert to boxing in this fight tonight when he recognized early on that he wasn't going to be able to run this man out of the ring. Yeah, it was just that obvious. And he didn't want to fight the way he was fighting, but had he tried to press the action and get this man into a fight, he could have gotten beaten up. Did you see the damage on him already from busted nose and mouth and, bruises on his face? And that was just from Angulo landing some shots because he wasn't really busy. Angulo spent a lot of time pressuring and coming after him, not cutting the ring off, not putting in a lot of body work, not letting his hands go in combination. See, this is why I spoke a moment ago about the type of opponent that Berlanga needed, because this is the type of opponent you can work on some things and still come out well. But they didn't plan for that for this fight. They were going to go in there and bang this older fighter out because, Angulo was in his late 30s, maybe older. But see, again, someone who is more inspired, someone who has the desire for win, someone who wants to take victory from a young fighter and extend his career would have caused some problems for Berlanga tonight. That's just an honest assessment of what was going down there, you see. And you have to look at these young fighters like that. When you're watching them do their thing, when they have to make adjustments, and Berlanga didn't make adjustments. He was actually forced to fight the way he was fighting. It's just that Alexis was not doing the things he needed to do to be more successful. I scored the fight 6-4 for Berlanga, and a couple of swing rounds in there definitely, because it was close enough that even with the lack of clean, clear shots landing, you could have looked more in favor of Angulo. That's just being honest. One of those rounds, I would have to go back and watch the fight. When Berlanga got hit with an uppercut, it looked to me for a moment like he wanted to stop. But he recognized where he was and what was happening. And then I believe that's when he began to take those backward steps, trying to paw with the jab. He wasn't snapping it. He wasn't shooting combinations off the jab. He was just basically trying to keep Angulo off of him. Again, a more inspired fighter, someone who had aspirations of extending their career and looking to come back on the next big ESPN card, would have fought a different type of fight. I don't know what's wrong with some of these guys with their motivations, because you could actually see there's like a fine line between the decision that they make in the actual bout and the decision that they could have made to change the course or the trajectory of the direction their career is going in. It's very apparent. Let me see. I got a couple more comments here. Jeff is out there. I see you, Jeff. Detroit, BC is in the house. Seen and Unseen Boxing is in the house. I appreciate you. Who else? Saw another name in there. Duke Todd is in the building saying salute Stormy B-Man in the chat. AJ64 is out there. And Hustler Slim says, Stormy B-Man, is it me or does his footwork seem jumbled and clumsy? Absolutely. And do you know why? Because he didn't train to fight the way he fought in tonight's performance. He was going to go in there and try to bully Angulo and get him up out of there. But the man was more solid than he realized. So he had to fight a different way, but that wasn't what he had prepared to do. That's why it was no fluidity. That's all. I don't know what the hell they were working on in his gym, man, because remember his last fight, he didn't look very well. And then the fight before that, he didn't look very well. So it's like, supposedly he got new trainer in there with him tonight, but I don't know what these guys are doing, man. I really don't. I'm highly critical of some of the trainers of today that when their charges are out there performing, you could kind of see the loopholes in what's not being done properly and what's not being the best of what they have as far as their talent or their assets. So I'm on top of that. Salute to Drew Titan LLC out there in that super chat. He says, man, wait till tomorrow. I got jokes, laugh out loud. I feel you, Drew. Thank you for your super chat, brother. Yes, sir. Let's see. Going back. The Dazzling Urban Knight is out there. Salute to you. Let's see. Trying to see this chat. Jason says, Angulo beat that man, I thought. You could make a case for him winning, but I did state that Angulo was not busy enough for my taste. You see, just clubbing a guy with a hard shot every once in a while, you have to build points during the round. Yes, a scoring shot, a well-placed body shot, a well-placed punch to the jaw. But that doesn't necessarily win the round. You have to put the shots together. And neither man did that, which is why it was difficult a fight to score. You know? J. Wayne Citizen says Angulo said he's 38. Just give him his check. I don't think of it like that because he's always fought the way he fights. But in this fight, it would have been nice to see his corner try to edge him on and let him know, man, this fight is there for the taking. It's right there. This is what you do. We didn't see that. You remember Angelo Dundee in Sugar Ray Leonard's ear against Tommy Hearns in their first fight? You're blowing it, kid. You're blowing it. You got to go out there. You got to be faster. You got to be smarter. You got to take it away from him. Ray Leonard obliged. It's almost like these trainers of today are afraid to assert themselves because they may get fired. If they were smart, they'd be firing the charges from their gyms. Get out of my gym and take your trash efforts with you. Your apathetic approach, your lackluster desire. Get out of my gym. Picasso is out there. I see you, Picasso. What's good with you? He says driving right now, but listening. Salute everybody. C. Wood is in the building as well. I see you out there, C. Wood. Appreciate you, man. Anthony Bolton says salute. Jason says true. Yeah. Jaywalk says they would rob the world right in front of our faces. Money is a hell of a drug. William says the problem with Berlanga is he is a hothead and he doesn't listen to his instructions. I know the type, and guys like him listen in the gym, but after he gets hit, instructions go out of the window. Listen, after he walks into the arena, instructions, training, all of that goes out of the window. Remember who he is, where he's from, and look at the track record of fighters that are from the same place. Ooh, did Stormy say that? Sure did. But look at the list. Most suffer from the same problems. It's a culture. Now, someone can break that mold and go on to greatness. But sometimes reading your own press clippings, being popular in the neighborhood, having the honeys chase after you, that's enough for most. You got a few dollars in your pocket. You can get yourself a nice car, some bling, Yeah. That's nothing. That's nothing. Take a look at the laundry list of billionaires in our society and take note of how they dress. Casual clothing, no bling. They may drive something exotic. They may get around from state to state or from country to country by a means that you wish you could. But let me tell you something about the dough, people. The dough ain't for show. Don't you know? Hear me one more time when I say it. The dough ain't for show. You should know. So when you got people, fighters, like Mr. Berlanga, it's hard to get through to them when they're already hard-headed to begin with. Now you add the fact that he can appear on television in a boxing match. Did you see him when he walked to the ring and he turned and looked at the crowd and everything? You would have thought there was some type of coronation for some head figure somewhere. If you don't sit your ass down somewhere, boy, you've done nothing. You got busted up by a veteran fighter tonight who wasn't even letting his hands go. Imagine if Angulo had decided to punch. He may not have made it to the 10th round. No. Foolishness. I talk about it all the time. And Angulo and his trainers should thank the judges. Oh, wow, Stormy, why do you say that? Thank the judges. They should have scored it in favor of him. Yeah, but he didn't earn it. He didn't earn it because he didn't fight with any spirit. He didn't fight like a warrior that came to show the young buck a trick or two. So, Alexis, go sit your ass down too. Yeah. See, these guys, they get out there, man, and they think something should just be handed to them. Absolutely not. You have to earn it, man. You have to earn it. G5 Gabe in the building. I see you out there, G5. What's good with you, brother? Seen and Unseen says, facts, OG. No encouragement from the corner. Yeah, perfect timing out there. Jason says, Warren Buffett says he shops at thrift store. And I could believe that. Because at the end of the day, aren't those just essentials? The clothes on your back, a table to set your book on, a coat rack to hang your coat. Yeah. And he has wealth extended for lifetimes. If he walked past you on the street, if you didn't know who he was from seeing him in the public media or whatever, you just say, look at that old white dude. But when you walk past me on the street and I see your bling, you got glitter on your shoes, glitter on your shirt, glitter on your face, lip gloss and painted fingernails, and carrying a man purse, yeah, you're going to stand out. I'm actually going to look and say, what the hell? You know, there's a great scene in Eddie Murphy's first Beverly Hills Cop movie from the early 80s when Michael Jackson's, the Billie Jean album, was hitting, right? And the Thriller and all of that. And that scene where Eddie Murphy's Axel Foley, his name. I'm sorry, I said Axel Schultz. That's a boxer. But Axel Foley walking down the street and he passed these two dudes walking with Michael Jackson jackets on, those Thriller jackets. And he walked past them and he looked back and he just busts out laughing. That's a great scene in the movie because That was a precursor to where our culture was going. Never mind that later on you had Boy George and everybody out there with makeup on. I'll tumble for you and all of that. So what? Dude, give me the OJs any day. You feel me? The OJs. Yeah. So, I'm not making this up. I'm telling you guys the truth, man. This is the real deal. Now, some people may not want to hear this. Too bad, because this is why I'm here. I have to say it. Somebody has to say it. Somebody has to say it. Lip gloss and painted fingernails. Huh? Tattoos all on your face and everything. It seemed like a good idea at the time, I know. It's not. It's not. And for these times, with everybody so soft in their feelings and everything, you really want to do some foolishness like that and be worried what people have to say? Why'd you do it? See, that's the problem. We're living in the times of people think that they'll do as thy wilt. So when fighters like Mr. Berlanga get in the ring, he feel like, I'm good. I'm Edgar Berlanga. I can still go out there and do what? Struggle against a veteran whom, if you had the right approach and the proper skill set, shouldn't have gone the distance with you. I said it. Now his people have to work even harder for matchmaking in the future, because if you guys don't know it, they sure do, that you got to walk on eggshells finding an opponent for this guy. Oh, yeah. The old ticker ain't gonna get no thicker, okay? Because this boy has been exposed a couple of fights ago. But you're seeing the residuals of it right now. Yeah. Absolutely. William says, Stormy B Man, I really wanted to hurt Boy George, just like the song said, and not in a good way either. When that song came on the radio, I wanted to hurt him. Hey, man. That's why I used it as an example. It sticks, doesn't it, William? It sticks for a long time, especially if you're a man, huh? Some of this stuff you can't make up, man. And some of these young men that are fighting now, they're in their 20s, you know, and everything, competing in this sport. They have no idea about the fight game and how it's supposed to be conducted. Capadonna 24 in the building saying, yo, Stormy, what's good with you? Seen and Unseen says, very androgynous. Yeah. Jason saying, yeah, I remember that on his way to see his friend. Yeah, talking about Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah. Yeah. Riptide is out there. What's good with you? He says, what up, Stormy in chat? Check this out. I'm going to go to Josue Vargas only because it's going to help drive home the point that I was just making here. Now, you remember the Vargas and Cepeda fight, right? Remember what happened there? He talked hell over high water, huh? He did. And Dakota Linger was supposed to be an opponent for him to come back. Since the Cepeda fight, you know, he got stopped in that first round. Embarrassed after talking all that stuff at the press conference antics and all of that. Well, tonight, where he said that he's going to do something like the other fighter from Puerto Rico, Miguel Cotto, would always do when he fought on the Puerto Rican holiday weekend, and that's get a victory. How wrong he was. Dakota Linger didn't get the memo, but he did get some rights and some lefts in on Mr. Vargas's chin, huh? Now, remind you, coming back from a devastating knockout, shouldn't you have learned something from that? Seriously, should you not have learned how to take care of yourself in there? Taking care of yourself doesn't mean high guarding it and covering up and cowering and stuff like that. That means increasing your boxing etiquette, your capability in there, knowing your way around the ring, tying somebody up, smothering their shots, clinching. In the event that you get rocked. You see, when you don't have much to work with from the beginning as far as brains, what do you think happens under fire? When the storm comes, what do you think happens? Preparation for opportunity makes prepared under opportunity. Yeah. Vargas was stopped in the second round tonight by a man that nobody knew. A tough man from a tough man contest. Yeah, they went into the shallow waters for that. Matter of fact, they didn't even go into the waters to dig up Linger, okay? They went into the puddles. The puddles, people. You know, kids like to stamp their feet in puddles of water. You know, they play. If there's a puddle of water and a kid is barefoot, he gonna stump his feet in the water. Yeah, that's what they do. Because it's fun. Mr. Linger looked a little older than a kid, right? But I'd be darned if he didn't splash his feet in the puddles of the ring this evening and put something on Mr. Vargas's chin. Just the way you draw it up. Because all that talk when the bell rings is just that, talk. Huh? He did exactly what you're supposed to do. He fought with spirit. He threw punches with bad intentions. And he got positive results. You see that, Mr. Alexis Angulo? Just like that. Just like that. Now, they'll put him on another card and he'll get knocked out in 30 seconds. But on this night, sometimes lessons are there for you to learn. William says, I really don't think there is any hope for Berlanga. I don't think trainers are going to make a difference because of the young man's attitude. Just my opinion, though. And you're probably not far off at all, William. Heavy Andy says, Josue Vargas should retire. Contrary to what you think, he already has with that performance last night. That was the ghost of what could have been. Showed up to be the reality of what is. See, he was Berlanga before Berlanga. Oop, did I say that? Sure did. I told you it hurts sometimes. It hurts sometimes. But you got to say it. And right along with comments like that is prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Fools rush in where wise men dare to tread. Lesson 1045. Anyone know what lesson 1044 is? Lack of preparation will not meet with the opportunity. You're welcome. Seen and Unseen says, Vargas ain't got no beard. Hang up the gloves before you get hurt. He's already been hurt, brother. He's been hurt a couple times now. But that don't stop a criminal from running up on somebody and committing a crime out in the open in a carry state and dying young. Seen and unseen. Let me help you with that. You said you mean permanently, OG. Well, the OG is going to tell you and everybody else out there listening and those who peeping through the blinds in the bushes and may catch it on replay. He already permanently hurt. Did I say that? Absolutely. Isn't it on video? Can't you go and catch the replay of his last fight? That's permanent, ain't it? It's a part of history, right? History is permanent, isn't it? You're welcome. See, you didn't know of which I spoke. There's always wheels turning in this peanut dome up here, brother. Always. I got more than a few gems to give, but I don't have the lifetimes to live. How about that? Jaywalk, he resorted to biting because that's the low-browed, low-foreheaded, fix of a man that he is. You can chalk that up to upbringing, brother. Yeah, I said it. Wasn't there another fighter from New York that bit another fighter? Popular guy, too. If my memory serves me correct, had a mighty reputation. And even when he bit the person, he wasn't satisfied with biting him once. He bit him twice. Some of y'all really love the guy. But he's permanently hurt and damaged too. Don't we have the history of those films? Haven't I talked about the guy on this channel? I tell you, people don't want to hear it. But you're welcome. So Vargas, Berlanga, two peas riding in the same pot that's boiling. When someone finally steps up to the plate to go up against Berlanga and stop him, it'll be over right then and there. Actually, it's over now, but it's just been delayed. There are people who won't like that. But it's a hard truth. Heavy Andy says, Mike Iron Tyson, and he's getting a Hulu limited series in August about his life in and out of the boxing ring. I won't be watching it. You see, I don't enjoy sitting up watching train wrecks. I like building blocks. I don't like deconstruction. Now, Jaime Munguia and Jimmy Kelly. Interesting fight for all of about 4 rounds. Jimmy the Boxer was a cutie. In the sport of boxing, a cutie is a guy who has a slick style. He can move and punch. He might not have too much power, but he can kind of keep himself safe a little bit and make another fighter look bad while doing so. But cuties get caught sometimes. Jimmy was no different tonight against Jaime Munguia, who couldn't get out of the way of this cutie's left hooks to save his life. I was amazed at how the slick boxing Jimmy Kelly was able to feint Jaime with those hard feints and then stick the jab on him and then hook off the jab. He could teach my man Joshua Buatsi something about hooking off of a jab. But Jaime got to him. And it turned out that Jimmy Kelly had a chin of paper mache, not even glass, just paper mache, because as soon as he got hit solid, he crumpled. He looked like that piece of paper that you ball up when you throw it in the wastebasket. That's what he looked like after that. So Jaime Munguia, once again, got another knockout against a guy that it didn't matter. All he had to do was hit the guy on the chin, and that was it. That's all he had to do. J. Wayne Citizen is saying, what did I used to call him? The Pink Panther? Yeah. You could play that Pink Panther theme while they're boxing, and they actually move to the rhythm of the music. Think about it. It's funny, man. I tell people stuff all the time. I tell Drew Titan stuff sometimes. He be cracking up laughing. I have him dying laughing because I say these things and it's like right off the cuff. And he's like, man, where'd you come up with that? It's like, yeah. Heavy Andy says, I'm new to the channel. I'm guessing you don't like Tyson. How do you feel about him? I'm a young man and I never saw any of his fights and don't know his life story. Heavy Andy, stop the bullshit right there. Okay? Stop the bullshit right there. How could you take it that I don't like Mike Tyson if you're new to the channel and you said yourself that you're a young man and you never saw any of his fights and don't know his life story, which all of that information is everywhere. Videos, highlight reels, the YouTube channel, all of this stuff, man. Who you think you crapping on that one, bro? I'm a person that's highly critical of Mike Tyson because he had the world in the palm of his hands and could have been one of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport. But he chose something otherwise. Yeah, there you go. Seen and unseen. You see what I'm saying? And you see what I said, right? Just coming in here. That might be Mike Tyson. Huh? Heavy Andy. Huh? Are you serious? I talked about people last night on my Friday night chop session. They out there, they be watching. They be checking Stormy out. Big channels, big personalities, scared to come in and say, hey, what's good, Stormy? Why? I don't be scared to go right in their chats and channels. No. For what? That's what it's for, right? To make comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. But if you got to give too many thumbs down, maybe you don't need to be around. Huh? G5 Gabe, you feel me? You know, see, G5 Gabe, if y'all don't know, he knows who I am. He's had conversation. Listen to G5. He'll tell you. Huh? Heavy Andy, that ain't what you said, brother. So don't try to come back and clean it up, because what you put out there in the universe is out there. Now, what could have been better would be say, my bad, I was just trying you. I was picking, to see what you might say or whatever. That's better. It's still not acceptable. But it's, this is what it is. I talk about this all the time. Foolishness. Huh? Are you serious, man? Are you serious? Yeah. Yeah. I talk about these things, man. I talk about these things. And you see, I'm supposed to lower my IQ, right? I'm supposed to lower my IQ. No, that doesn't happen. If anything, I'm going to ascend to the heavens with the IQ, and I won't send a postcard. Okay? Foolishness. I've worked with fighters in the gym, bro. I can tell a person straight up what they need to hear. And I just helped Heavy Andy with what he needed to hear. He might not like it. It's too bad. This is my channel. You understand? But William, G5, Picasso, so forth and so on, so many who are in the chat currently this evening, will tell you, if there's one who don't muddle in bullshit, is Stormy. You're insulting me. D-Ray Promotions, I see you out there, brother. One more message.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. There's a reason why. You have the path, and then you have that veers off from the path, huh? The detours and off track and all of that. Staying on code, staying on key, staying on track. Some people just can't get with the program. And you know what that means? How many times have I said it, people? Everybody ain't gonna make it. Huh? No. Everybody ain't gonna make it. Yeah. Okay, Heavy Andy. It's the last time I'm going to address you like this. Okay? You says, no, Mr. Stormy B, man, I'm not trolling. Salute, though, OG. All I can say is, if you go back and read the comment that you originally wrote, that I did read it out, you could say whatever you want to say. Okay? But I know better. I know better. And so do you. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. But like I said, life is about choices. People choose to do things. When they choose to, point, hit that button and I'm going to say this, and you're going to hit send when you really shouldn't.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sheena, you've been around long enough, right? Sheena's sitting right up there at the front of the class. She knows. So does my man G5 and William, huh? Big homie Coop. Y'all know what's up. Even Picasso, he knows. Listen, let's just get on down to what was the first battle of the evening. And I couldn't have found more solace in the results of this fight. The heavyweights, huh? Trevor Bryan taking on Danny Dubois. I saw this accident on the horizon, people. I saw it. Okay? Trevor Bryan is the type of personality, man. Like, if you hung out with the guy, he's always talking stuff and everything. And people ask him questions like, man, anybody ever punch you in your mouth? That kind of thing. and antics like saying that he enlisted the assistance of boxing legend Larry Holmes as he approached this fight. I don't know how true that is or whatever, because I saw no semblance of anything that Larry Holmes might have shown him in his actions once the bell rang for the first round. I just wondered, when was Danny Dubois gonna just say, let me hit this guy in the mouth, huh? The WBA regular champion, Trevor Bryan, holding that title for several years. Trainers and everybody talking about real fighters like Deontay Wilder and putting them down and talking about how Trevor would have his way with them and everything. And I just was looking at those reports and those interviews and listening to those sound bites, and I was highly offended. Not offended like in the sense of like when someone says something derogatory or whatever, but just offended because the guy, I'm just being honest here, he looked like me when he got on the scales for the weigh-in, and I ain't trained. He had a training camp. What's his excuse? When you had him standing next to Dubois, it looked like before and after, huh? The only thing I would like to say is thank you, Danny Dubois, for ridding the heavyweight division of another misfit, as Lennox Lewis used to call them. The guy belonged in the ring with Dubois about as much as anybody who ain't never boxed before did. And that's what he fought like. He took a punch on the chin that made him do a belly flop with his butt up in the air. Now, we've talked about people showing their ass all the time. Huh? But see, he got a head start with the promotion of the fight, the press conferences, the weigh-in, etc., etc. So the last thing to do was to stick his tush up while he was laying on the canvas. TKO 4, huh? For Danny Dubois. 4 for the former WBA regular champ, huh? See, he should have been in that fight last week with those guys that I told KQKC it was the Jelly Belly Championship of the world. He should have been in there with those dudes. He didn't belong in the ring with Danny Dubois. And I just wonder what Deontay Wilder's right hand would have done to this guy. Pathetic, man. You know who he looked like? Trevor Bryan looked like one of those guys out of the 80s, Tony Tubbs and them guys who refused to get in shape. Greg Page. And Danny Dubois still ain't all that good, people. He still ain't all that good. But this is boxing, huh? Seen and unseen, he's laughing. Yeah, man, the Jelly Belly Championship of the world. Yeah, I got more flab than you, huh? give a whole new meaning to fat camp. Most fighters go away for training camps. Those guys go away for buffets. Absolutely, J. Wayne Citizen, without the talent. Yeah, Antonio, MMA. I agree. He's not that talented, but you know what? He's refreshing, He's refreshing. They asked him what did he think about Larry Holmes in the camp with Bryan. And he said in the camp with what training him? And they said, yeah. He said, well, it don't matter. He said he can't fight for him. Which is true. I think that Larry Holmes ducked out the back door or something halfway through the first round when he saw how the dude was performing. Larry was not seen, And that's okay. I wouldn't have been seen with him either. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Wow. So, Danny Dubois is the new WBA regular champ. He'll give some people some problems. Some people will give him problems. But at least the Black Buffalo has been put to pasture. Man. So that's pretty much it, man, because like I said, I was going to go over these fights with, the main events. Dubois, it didn't require a lot from him. I didn't see much of a jab. He was really loading up on his right hand. He didn't get a lot of body shots in, even though that's what he should have did. And it looked like when he was trying to go to the body, the left hook that he's throwing, that's the one that Bryan dipped into and knocked him out. So, I think when Bryan hit the canvas, the camera shook like this a little bit on TV. William, the guy is such a pitiful fighter. I'm surprised he's been able to survive as long as he has. He is pathetic, bro. Pathetic. And they talked about him like he was a blue chipper or something. But I think they mixed that up and he was eating some blue chips or something because he is not a blue chip fighter, But he might be eating those blue chips, those tortilla chips that they dye a certain color. And, they come in the bag and they try to tell you that they're a little healthier than the others. All they did was put some dye on them, Dubois put that dye on his chin. And the boy fell down like a fish out of water. His butt was sticking up in the air. For shame. Can you believe it, man? Some of these guys that they have in boxing, man, they shouldn't even be around. Huh? They shouldn't even be around. How does a guy thrive like that? How do they decide that a fighter like that is going to be a titleist? Where do they do that at? That would be like me getting up out of this chair I'm sitting in right now, and tomorrow you see me at a press conference with a belt slung over my shoulder. I'm the WBA Uber champ. Crazy. Crazy. And if Don King gonna be promoting guys like that, man, just get out the sport, Don. Retire. You were the man through the 70s and 80s and a portion of the 90s, man. But just please, leave it alone. Leave it alone. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. The post-fight show. Want to talk about these fighters and these fights, but it was that's why I said it was kind of a lackluster evening of boxing. From the Berlanga fight on back to the Dubois fight. We had boxing on pretty much all afternoon into the evening. But nothing really stood out unless you were looking at the young guys, who were fighting in the undercards. That's right, D-Ray Promotions. J. Wayne Citizen, the only thing I can say about that is I'd rather see him than AJ. And he's flawed. He's probably maybe even more flawed than AJ. He's got more spirit than AJ, but that's not saying a lot. But, yeah, they'll be calling him champ. So it was a lackluster evening of fights for me. Very lackluster. So but yeah, I know some of you guys came in late. Maybe some of you didn't hit that like button. Please hit that like button before you get out of here. And I'll clear things out so I can get me some rest, get up and do the call-in show in the morning. But it is what it is. This is what we had to deal with, man. Nothing to, be proud of. Nothing to be proud of, Yeah, D-Ray, we'll see about next weekend. We'll see. But I'm going to get on out of here. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, Sunday. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace to everybody. Remain safe out there.